In this video, I'm going to quickly show you how you can change active sentences into passive sentences. Check the description for the sentences that we're using so that you can work along while we're doing this. If you want to check out my videos about the passive, whether it's the English video or the Dutch video, check out the description for the correct links. Oh, and while we're here, don't forget to subscribe so that you can know when other videos will come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an active sentence, give you some time to think about the passive equivalent, and then I'm going to give you the answer and show you how we do this. So don't forget, when we're making passive sentences, the subject of the active sentence becomes the object of the passive sentence, and the object of the active sentence becomes the subject of the passive sentence. When we look at verb tense, we always have to be plus past participle, and the to be of that construction changes into the tense of the active sentence. So let's look at the first example and see how we do this. The chef prepares a delicious meal. Take some time to think about how we would change this into a passive sentence. So let's first change the structure of this sentence. Remember, the subject of the active sentence becomes the object of the passive sentence. So in this case, we get by the chef as our object. And in the active sentence, we have a delicious meal as our object. And that becomes the subject of the passive sentence. So we get a delicious meal by the chef. We now need to do something with the verb tense. So we know that prepares is present simple. So that means that we need present simple of to be for our to be plus past participle. We have as verb prepare, and we need the past participle of prepare for our past participle part. So we get is prepared. So the passive sentence is a delicious meal is prepared by the chef. Let's go to our next sentence. She is reading an interesting book. So to change this into a passive sentence, what do? So we first need to put the object of the active sentence in the subject position of our passive sentence. So an interesting book becomes our subject. Then we put the subject of the active sentence in the object position of the passive sentence, she, and we need to change it here because she as personal pronoun in a subject position is different than the personal pronoun she in an object position, so it becomes her. So we get by her. Then we need to change our verb tense. Remember, in passive sentences we always get to be plus past participle. The past participle of reading is read because it's irregular. Then we get the present continuous of to be, which is being. So our entire sentence becomes an interesting book is being read by her. Let's go to our third sentence. They built a new bridge across the river. We need to do the same steps. We have our subject, they, we have a verb phrase, built, and then we get our object, a new bridge. And to keep it simple, we're going to include across the river in the object as well. Remember, we need to put the object of the active sentence in the subject position of the passive sentence, so we get a new bridge across the river as our subject. We need to put the subject of the active sentence in the object of the passive sentence, they, and this changes as well, so it becomes by them. And then we need to change a verb. We have past simple in the active sentence, built, and the past participle of built is built. Then we need past simple of to be, which is was, so our passive sentence becomes a new bridge across the river was built by them. Let's look at the fourth sentence. The students are writing essays for the competition. We have the students as our subjects, are writing, our verb phrase, and then essays for the competition as our object. Now take some time to think how we would change this into a passive sentence. So what we need to do again is put the object of the active sentence in the subject position of the passive sentence. So, essays for the competition is our subject. The students becomes our object, so we get by the students. And then we need to change our verb tense. In this case, we have present continuous again. So we get present continuous of to be, which is being. And we get past participle of to write, that is written. So our new sentence becomes essays for the competition are being written by the students. Our final sentence. The scientists have discovered a new species of butterfly. Now you think how you would change this into a passive sentence, and this one's tricky because we have present perfect. So you need to work extra carefully when you're working with the verb tense. In this case, we need to put the subject, the scientists, in the object position and the object, a new species of butterfly, in our subject position. So we get a new species of butterfly, by the scientists. As I mentioned before, we have present perfect in this sentence. So that means that we need the present perfect form of to be in our passive equivalent. So what is the present perfect of to be? Has been. And then we need the past participle of discover, which is already used in this sentence, which is discovered. So we get a new species of butterfly has been discovered by the scientists. So that's basically it. That's how you can change active sentences into passive sentences. If you found this video useful, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe so that you know when my other videos will be out. Thank you for watching, keep on practicing, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos.